Quit blowing my phone up like precision. Cry rap tattoos, I can't believe. Okay, you need it. Text me day and night to keep it. She said
Like niggas can get inside when niggas is running away from the cops and shit.
Trap on straight.
So this is basically the room to, I guess, sleep in. And we moved in like 2 months back.
I think shooting in the backyard would be dope. Oh, this is the front, right?
Yeah, this is the front.
Yeah,
Like shooting here. This is But niggas, I hope you don't mind. Like I'm just gonna light up a blunt and shit before I go.
Nigga, do you? We're here for you.
you're in a Porsche, y'all. Revenue, bitch, niggas hearing me coming.
C'è ancora movie. Dove?
And then yes, that one. Fucked up right. I ain't even seen the inside of it ever since I got here. First time I see the door open up. Yeah, and then this is like probably the main bedroom. The main bedroom. And then I'm not sure if y'all have watched like a video of mine called High, like a trailer. It was shot in this house, and some of the scenes were shot here as well. Like you know, it's always bro, what's good?
Yeah, we got you with
Hash. Hey.
Hash.
Yeah, that's what's up. And then we got the wardrobe in here. And then we just, it's lit times when we hit. Is that 50 Cent? Shit, nigga, I'm broke as fuck. Come here, man. Let me show y'all downstairs. Let me show y'all some studio and shit.
Sleep, working 24 weeks.
Stai iniziando a Nice phone. Because the quality is nice.
This is basically but name it's a trap house. Let me show y'all the kitchen. So this internet wave is a whole, not necessarily all of it, but yeah.
Get me rich, right? Brand new fish, right? This life got needs, I'm earning 3. And wait for pussy money.
Did you spread the word about the big hash, man?
Word for real? Alright niggas. So tell me, what's the vision for Fundak so I can get it done, you know what I'm saying? From my end.
It's just gonna be a questionnaire, man.
The questionnaire, y'all set something up?
Yeah, I said something.
Alright, so tell me when we finna start shooting the interview and then everything. It's all Gucci.
Yeah. Let me just get the boys, the photographers to get a proper view of everything. Let me choose a site.
Yeah. So let me show you all around actually, just like outside.
As I took my back for a minute, and I looked too far from the finish.
East Street Society, man.
Always, bro.
Man. You know, we spread word about all these hot niggas out here, man.
Hey.
Especially youth ass niggas, you feel?
Yeah.
So now, man, you young, right? You young as fuck.
I get told that a lot.
You young as fuck. So you still in school?
Nah, nigga.
Wow, man. When did you drop out?
I dropped out like in June last year.
Grade 11 still.
Yeah, grade 11. I was grade 11.
Why grade 11? June even, my nigga.
Yeah, you know what happened, right? It was more of, I knew it was time for me.
Yeah.
I knew it was time. I had to do something about it because I kept getting sucked into the same cycle. People telling me that nah, dog, you ain't gonna do shit with your life
Yeah,
if you sleeping in class. And like, I realized the reason why I was sleeping in class is because class wasn't for me. So I was like, fuck it.
So you just felt like most school would just kill your life, man.
Yeah.
So you believe that a dream is worth more than a degree?
Yeah, a dream is what we need. Like,
For real?
100%, because a degree can't buy you happiness.
Yeah, that's true shit.
Yeah.
That's true shit. But I mean, being a black nigga, you know that we all, I mean, our parents are all over the place. So how are your parents about this? Like, what were their views about it?
Dog, my parents, like, I don't even lie to you. It was more of you can do what you want, dog, but just leave the house. Don't come back.
The fuck?
Yeah,
For real?
Yeah, for real. Like it got to a point where me and my mom, every fucking day we fight. You know.
Yeah.
And like it was a lot for me as well. Like it took its toll on me because I started doubting if I could even get it done right because my head wasn't in it. I drop out and next thing you know, my mom is telling me all this bullshit. Like it's a lot, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we expect your parents to be the ones that are backing you,
Supporting,
like,
yeah.
Dang.
They didn't even believe in, you know.
Yeah. So like you don't talk to your parents no more these days.
Nah, nigga, I love my mom to death. It's just like she's like a single parent. So from where I was coming from, you know, like it was a lot for her because now there's no pops involved in the picture. My pops is doing some other shit on his own. He ain't even my pops, he's a sperm donor. You know what I'm saying? So her with all that pressure, it stacked up, you know, like to the point where it was a lot to digest that your kid is dropping out of school to go do music, something that's not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
And nigga was doing free shows while he was in school. Now
So it's
imagine,
like, dang.
like, how do you even handle all of that? And you're in grade
Yeah.
11, you have 6 months left. Why don't you just finish? And like even get it.
Just finish the whole
just
shit,
finish the
yeah.
whole shit, yeah. You had a year and a half left. That's why it's a lot of pressure. That's why
Yeah.
I wasn't, you know. It was a lot. Yeah.
I feel. So now, in terms of your name,
Yeah.
the Big Hash, where does that come from? Like, does it have anything to do with your music? Does it have anything to do with your life? I mean, what's that about?
Well, let me tell you something. There's a fucked up story about this. So basically, like, I was in grade 8, walking into high school, right? And like, I was the guy who had the biggest head and the biggest feet, the biggest hands, but a small ass nigga. Like, I was skinny as fuck too. You know, I'm just like, I'm a stumble. You know what a stumble is? Yeah, a stumble. Yeah, cause at that time, I was short as shit, rocking size 8. People in my classes were still on like size 5, size 6,
Yeah.
and I'm out here with these big ass feet, and like everyone would just look at me and be like, "Yo, it's the myth and legend. It's Bigfoot," and like it was like, why the fuck are people calling me this? I just got to high school. Give me a break, you know?
Yeah.
Like I literally just walked into the gate and all of a sudden it's the myth, it's the legend, it's Bigfoot, and it took me time to adjust to it because like people weren't fucking with me, you know? People weren't fucking with me. So I decided, okay, you know what? Let's embrace it. Let me just pick up something cool that I could add to the name. So I was like, let me put a hashtag and put the whole name together. Hashtag Bigfoot, right? But then it was like, I wrote it everywhere in class, every class that I went to, But then it was a silent, you know, it was a silent hashtag.
Yeah.
So it's just Bigfoot, man. It was Bigfoot, but I made it look cool with the hashtag.
Yeah.
Then it got to grade 10. I'm looking for an IG name. I was like, dog, I can't pick Bigfoot on Instagram. No bitch would follow me.
Yeah.
For real, no bitch would follow me. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Let's do it like this. Shout out to my nigga Ricky for that one. Let's do it like this. Let's look at what you can come up with from your name. And then I saw the big in my name, and there was a hashtag. So I was like, the Big Hash. Okay, let me just put it there as an IG name. And people like they ended up fucking with it like a lot, you know. And it became a thing where now Doug Hash, you know, it's Hash. No more Bigfoot or anything like it's Hash. It's Hash. People call me Hash. So I just stuck with it. Yeah.
Okay, so where are you from first?
I'm from Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah.
So what school did you?
I went to Blue Hills College. It's like about 7 Ks from here. It's a boarding school.
So like your niggas from high school, what happened to them?
Hey man, my niggas in high school, they stayed in high school. And I stayed doing my thing. Facts.
Straight shit, man. When
Straight
niggas sleep out here, they'll continue.
Yeah, dog. But it's not like, you know, I cut niggas off and shit.
Yeah, nah, I feel.
It's still cool. I even bumped into a nigga of mine from high school while I was on the phone. It's a
Yeah.
pity I couldn't talk to him because I was on the phone. It looked like ignorant as shit.
Yeah, I feel.
Like, it looked like, oh, this nigga, he didn't switched up.
So now, man, where did this whole music shit start? Man? Like, what grade? What inspired it?
Oh, yeah. I started
put it into
singing
motion?
when I was 6, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I was on my way to some grade party, some grade 1 party, in the West, right? Because I lived with my grandma in Soweto at that time. So,
Where in Soweto?
like in Pimville. Yeah. Kimfanaga Zone 7.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
So to be like that, all makes sense.
Yeah. So, we were there, at that school, right? And then on the way back from it, like, I heard the song on the radio called "You Raise Me Up" or some shit like that by Josh Groban.
Yeah.
And like, for some reason, I couldn't get it out of my head. I was just like this 6-year-old little boy, just singing the hell out of the song. I didn't know, like I was just singing it because I love to sing like that song, and I couldn't get out of my head. And people were like, "No, please shut up, you're being like, dude, you sound terrible. Please stop." So I was like, "Alright, Wiz," and I actually hated music from then on. Yeah, like, cause like every time I heard 50 Cent Candy Shop, I was like, and then there's this one song that came on when I was 9, Viva La Vida by Coldplay. You know that song? Okay, but that song right there, it changed my life, right? It made me want to sing more, and I actually decided to take this music shit, a whole lot more serious when Drake pulled up in the next year.
Yeah.
And then like I started bumping and shit, but it wasn't much. Then I started bumping it more when I got my first phone, and then the PSP. Then I listened to, because my friend had a memory card that I borrowed. I listened to all of that bullshit. I was 11 and I started writing my own raps, purely. Like, it's like in grade 2 when I was doing it, when I was rapping, it wasn't even like a fun thing. It was just like, I'm freestyling, but I was trying to make sense of it. My sentencing was bad.
Yeah, of course.
Like, my sentencing was fucking bad, I couldn't put it together, 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So then grade 11, not grade 11, when I was 11,
Yeah.
started, writing. Everything was proper until I was 15.
Yeah.
I was 15. I kept rapping, on the blog at school and shit up until I was 15. Until these 4 girls, they pissed me and my niggas off to the max. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So there's girls involved.
dog, listen. They pissed me and my niggas off to the max. And then we ended up recording a diss track same week. They had the equipment, they brought it through. It was my first time recording. I did it anyways. Cause like, damn, I'm actually sick of recording on the phone.
Some legitimate shit.
But it was on the MacBook, and like we even used earphones. But it's just like the MacBook at the time. It sounded like it had proper quality because you could put the 2 and 2 together with the beat and whatnot because of GarageBand. So we did that, released this track. But the vocals, they sound like they're that side, and the beats is also that side. But people still responded well to it because they're like, "Hey, dog, this is the first time we see justice like this. Hey, what's up?" So they heard it, they loved it, they fucked with it, and then like I started recording more from then on, and then like the rest is history.
From then on.
Yeah.
What year was this?
This was like, well, I'm turning 18 tomorrow, so it's like 3 years.
Yeah. Oh man, happy birthday by the way, man. This was
Hey.
make it.
I'm probably gonna be 18 when this interview comes out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Alright. So in terms of influences, bro.
yeah.
Okay, by hearing all of that, like I said, Drake is one of the influences.
Uh-huh.
Right? Definitely. So now, name your top 3 influences.
It would be Drake, Childish Gambino, and Uzi.
So some of that new shit and old shit put together.
Yeah.
I feel. Alright, so what message do you share with your friends doing music? Like, what do you want them to hear? What do you want them to know? Apart from like what you already said, besides that, like what do you want them to know?
I don't want them to know, actually. I want them to feel,
Okay, what do you want them to feel?
Like, I want my music to be more relatable to the people who've been told that you gotta stay in this box to, to fit in, right?
Yeah.
But, like, with the direction that I'm taking now, it's like an ugly kid coming out of nowhere. He's young as fuck. He knows no one in the game. No one in the game knows him.
Just taking risks.
Like, just taking risks and doing whatever the fuck that I want to do because I did whatever the fuck I needed to do to get to that point. So, like, my music, when I pass it through to the people, they must feel what I'm saying because it's resonating with them. They're the outcasts, these people that have been treated badly by, their parents who are going through some shit like, when you're being doubted and all that bullshit, Yeah.
Alright. So now, every artist has their own unique method of creating music. Right?
Yeah.
Whenever you create something, there's a certain process that you go through. So what's your creative process looking like when you're about to write something, and whenever you know this something is hard and it's good for the people out there?
Yeah.
So how's your creative process looking like?
I get high a lot, bro. I get high a lot. I genuinely get high a lot.
Yeah.
Like, but not, I don't get high for the wrong reasons. I get high to block out the whole world, because that's when I can focus on my screen and I can focus on my lyrics, and like I can be creative with things, because you know when you're sober, like if you're not used to it, you get locked up.
Yeah.
Like, and you start realizing you talking about the same monotonous old bullshit. You know, and like when you're high, it just unlocks your mind and it takes you to a place where you can put yourself like in a tree's shoes and actually get a tree's point of view.
Yeah.
Or you can put yourself in your phone's shoes and get yourself in the phone's point of view. Like you can, it's a POV situation.
Yeah.
When you get high. Yeah. So like that's my process. I just have to get high and make good music with my bro. 808X.
Yeah.
Then we cool. We
Yes,
stay.
yeah. But now how do you know if it's good enough?
Well, bro, like with me, I've been around long enough, noticing exactly what the people fuck with and what they don't fuck with, and what I fuck with and what the people like, you know. Yeah. So I put that together. And I make sure that, like, knowing myself, I have so much faith in myself that if something sounds good, I'd know that it sounds good, and like I put those two together, like, and I make a compromise. Because if I gotta change lines, or if I gotta change like the whole song entirely, I'll do it. I just need to work with, you know, whatever I'm feeling. Yeah.
I feel. Now, in your art, right? Do you instill subliminal messages, or do you just want people to just, like, you show people that this is what it is? There's nothing, there's no undertones, there's no hidden messages, anything whatsoever.
No hidden messages, no undertones. I'm cutthroat like that, bro.
Just make it seem straight. Honestly. Okay, now in terms of Internet Wave, you know, the relationship between all of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, how did Internet Wave come to be? How did the whole thing come to be? How did y'all meet? How did y'all get into it?
Bro, I don't even lie to you, man. I joined Internet Wave. I wasn't a part of the whole experience. What I can tell you is how it happened.
Yeah, how did it?
Nah, so basically, I was still in high school last year, and I dropped this EP called, it was my first studio EP, because every other EP that I recorded was on phone. So it was my first studio EP, and it was called Devo EP, right? And I dropped it at around this time, like 2 months back, like around Feb or so, right? On the 3rd of Feb. So when I did that, like, 808X caught word of it. And I already knew 8 around the block, because he did the joint for Frank called Bedroom Thoughts on Frank's tape, Something For Me. Nah. So I was like, oh shit, 808X, he likes my shit, right? We got in contact, we started speaking. He kept telling me, yo, bro, pull up to the studio. I wasn't able to do that because I was stuck in boarding school. And like on top of that, my mom, she wasn't even supporting the music shit. She was like, yo, dog, listen, I have no time for you to be like, to be spending shit on school, knowing that you're gonna get condoned, not pass it. Condoned. I got condoned, bro. Pretend I got condoned. For real. For real. Nah. So when I did that shit, it dropped, right? That EP dropped, he fucked with it. Then he hit me up to work. I couldn't do it, still stuck in school. Okay, cool. And then that's when, like, I started hearing more beats from this nigga, right? And like it started clicking. I'm like, shit, this nigga, I need to work with him ASAP. But I was still stuck in school. I started getting, you know, shit from this guy that had like shit from Mikey, right? He just released a project called Pre-Funked at that time. It was an EP. So when I heard Pre-Funked, I was like, okay, you know what, nah, this guy, he's clean with the vocals, he's clean with the beats. I need to work with this 808X ASAP. So when we did that, we like, I had to drop out, and then obviously there was someone that had to intervene to let my mom say she can allow me to go to studio. Cause like it was tough. We had to get an intervener involved and all of that. and then managed to convince my mom that yeah, dog, it's the best thing. Let's see what the boy can do. If by the end of the year he hasn't done something right, he goes back to school the next year straight up.
Yeah.
This was 2017.
Yeah.
So when we got together, first week after that happened, I got together with 808X.
Yeah.
We made 3 songs off of the Big Hash Theory at that time. It was the Big Bang Theory. That was the first song that I did. And then I did 8578, the original 8578. That first weekend that I did with it. And then we did Wait. We did Wait. Yeah. So that was in August. Right. We did all of that shit in August. And then we dropped 8578 the next week. My word. Like that's when shit started spreading like wildfire. People were hearing, but they weren't listening. They were hearing, they heard about the name, but their minds didn't like. But only like the real ones would understand that yo, dog, this nigga shit is dope. So that's what happened. And then by I think by the weeks, going by, we started developing a synergy with each other. Like every week they just come out a hit. The next week Hot Sauce came out, but it was just me alone and Ginger Trill.
Yeah.
He pulled through to the studio, got him on that shit. Got him on that shit. And then afterwards, we started rocking with it like a whole lot more. Then I decided, yo, let me hit up a nigga called Patrick XX Lee. So we tried working with Patrick for so many months, even while I was still in school. It wasn't happening, like, cause these niggas, you know how they are. They're out of reach. They're out of reach. When you ain't popping, they're out of reach.
They don't know you, nigga.
Yeah, they don't know you for shit. So when I said that I had a joint with Ginger Trill, like I made his manager research Ginger Trill, and she understood the power that it had.
Yeah.
Now, if I could get it done, if I could put Patrick on his, it's gonna expose him to a new market, and we're all about exposing to new markets. So we did it. We got it done. We even got it done 2 days before it had to drop, like the Big Hash thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's the whole internet story.
Yeah, that's the whole internet story. We ended up signing in October, like the day before the project came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all know that not many people are privileged to be in the position that you're in right now.
Yeah.
You know, being so young and being in a scene where you're noticed and everybody's watching what you're doing and wanting to know what you're up to. How does that make you feel?
Like, dog, it overwhelms me knowing that I was in a certain position a few months ago and I was able to make it happen a few months later. A few months. Niggas take years to break into the game.
Yeah.
Niggas take years. And for me, I've never said, no, it was because of my talent. It's always because I'm a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to drop out, I had to have a plan. And my plan is working with 808X, who happens to be one of the hottest producers in the game, but nobody noticed that.
Yeah.
He was the hottest producer to never be heard. That's facts.
Straight up.
So when I worked with that nigga, like it unlocked a whole lot of things for me, because I realized that being a victim of circumstance is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, being with Internet Wave, it managed to bag Jägermeister. And Jägermeister's been working with us very closely. Like on certain projects that are still gonna come out soon. And like also, like I think being friends with the right people, that helped a lot, because the people that were helping me when I was coming up off of PR, like they knew what they'd been doing. They'd been pushing niggas like Jay Marley and them before they blew up, pushing niggas like Frank before they blew up. So it's all those guys, like PR guys, you know, like all those guys. So I was a victim of circumstance when they heard my song 8578. That's when they hit me up, and like we started working ever since. And then we made sure that it happened. We made it happen, you know. Yeah. So.
Okay, now you of course have a sound that stands out from most of the niggas out here, you know. So now, was that all done intentionally, or was it just like, okay, this just happens, I just got in the studio, this is what I want to sound like, oh, this just happened by mistake, it just happened that I sound like this all of a sudden?
I sounded like this all of a sudden. I swear, my previous music, I was on conscious shit, dad. I was like on some strictly conscious shit, like, and I was using my natural voice to sing, you know? So all of that, putting it together, I was like, oh shit, me, my sound is not because I've heard this nigga 808X and shit, he's on some other shit. So when this guy plugged me in with autotune on 8578, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, nah, this ain't me, nigga. For real. Like I was mind blown. I was mind blown. I was like, dog,
So
I
can
think
you
I just found my
naturally
sound.
sing? Can you naturally sing?
Yeah, I can actually sing, yeah. Yeah, I can sing. But like I was like, I found my sound. Cause it just happened like out of nowhere, and niggas were big, didn't even know what's going on. Niggas were leaned out, passing out in the corner over there, and that one over there, dog. And like I'm writing there, I'm like on the first 5 sentences, right? I'm cool. He tells me, okay, hop in the stew, let's do a verse. I did the verse. I sound rusty, and I'm like, okay, can I take it again? He's like, nah, wait. He hooks up the auto tune.
Yeah. Done.
Nigga.
Killed it.
Dog.
Alright, okay, now your latest project, Lifetimes of a Teenage Infant. What's that about, man? Tell us about that, like the whole story behind it all.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Like legit, it was a Twitter joke. You don't have it?
Okay.
I woke up one time and then I went on Twitter and it was like 100 retweets and I dropped an EP. I woke up 2 days later, 118 retweets. People are hitting me up. Hey Baba, we want that EP.
Yeah.
Hey Baba.
Yeah.
And they're clapping on my door. I'm like, shit, what do I do now? Right? They clapping at my door. They ain't knocking. They clapping, nigga. They're like, hey Baba.
You want that shit, yeah.
You want that shit. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me speak to my label. Let's get something done. We started working on the EP low key, right? We started working on the EP low key because we made it seem as if it was done.
Yeah.
It was done. Yeah. People actually thought the EP was done.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
It's just a test.
Yeah, it was just a test.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it would take like probably like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then I work on the EP low key, right? But I was even at home. I was far from the studio, dog. I was in like PT mode, and all of this is happening. I was like, okay, cool. We came back. The first song that we started working on was X's on the Weekend, but that wasn't even like me. It was meant to be a song between me and my nigga Malachi, because at the time we had a duo called Black Romance. That's still building. Like, it still exists, right? But we haven't put out music. So like, he was supposed to be on the song, and like the hook, it was a really dumb thing, dog. Like the beat, I don't even know how it happened. Nothing, dog. Like that night was a blur. I got high, and next thing I know, I'm walking out with the song. It has an undone verse, and I'm like, shit, this hook is actually pretty lit. And then I recorded it and I put it on social media, on my Instagram story, and I saw how many people were responding to it. Like, I'm like, shit, okay, let's try something. Let's try something. And then we got that song wrapped up, came back and did basically the EP was done in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, on 2 weekends actually.
Yeah.
2 weekends. It's just I struggled writing for Life and Times. I mean, not for Life and Times, for X's on the Weekend. Right? Everything else I managed to get it done, but then I realized I had to write my verse sober so I can think about the content I'm talking about. I had 5 different versions of that song, and all of them are trash.
Yeah.
Nah, except the hook. The hook was like the one thing, but I kept fucking up. Like with the verse game, I had to find a way to deliver, and then I wrote the verse sober. I came back, recorded it, and from then on the EP just started unraveling itself. Like every session we walk out with the song. You know, like I even walked out with 3 at some point in one session. Nah. So like that was very unlocked, and then we shot the trailer. We put it out. Oh my word, the response. For X's on the Weekend, the response. And then that's when we knew that, okay, you know what, this EP's happening for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest is history.
Okay. Now, while I was listening to the project, you know, I picked up a few things. You know, for example, the first track, Anita.
It's not that was the first track.
Yeah, that's the that wasn't the first track. Oh shit. Okay. But yeah, you know, okay, the first track I heard. You know, let me put it like that. This is how my playlist.
Hold on,
looks
niggas is getting stoned.
like. Not chill, yo, let's finish this. Like,
Nigga, that's my dank gone. That's like lost blood, bro.
bring it through then. Shit.
Hey, wait, let me FaceTime this nigga. Hold on for a second. I need to tell this nigga to come through. Like, the fuck is this, dog? I went to go buy blunt literally this morning. I want blunt left, and these niggas are telling me this. Well, wait a second.
That's good.
You want a blunt?
Nah, I'm like,
Because I was gonna say, yeah, let's go, all of us. Nah, it's cool. Yeah. So, yeah, bro.
Okay. Now Anita.
Yeah, Anita. You wanna ask about Anita?
What's up with Anita, man? Is it a person? Is it just imaginative? What's up with that?
Nah, man. Anita is like basically she's like a template of a girl. Like I before I released the project, I had gone through a breakup,
Yeah.
and like I added parts of that girl into the song and also X's on the Weekend as well. Like the whole process, I literally just came off of a breakup and the whole EP concept was presented. So,
But
like
in terms
when
of X's on the Weekend,
Yeah.
you know, okay, I picked up something, right? I don't know if I'm correct with this, but bear with me. Is that okay? Your X is on the weekend purely because I mean you have school on weekdays, so perhaps maybe it might be that you only see her only on that weekday. Only then come weekend, you know, I don't know you, you don't know me. What X is straight? We'll go back again on Monday.
wow. so what about that song, bro? Cause I'm just like
Like, now is that the meaning of X's on the
Nope.
weekend? What's the meaning of X's on the weekend?
the title has no meaning, literally.
So it's just X
I
on
just
the
wanted to add on the weekend because I made the song on the weekend.
So it's just X's on the weekend. No underline, no undertones, nothing.
No undertones.
Damn, yo. Okay, now on Don't, right? You mentioned how they ain't gotta forget you when you're famous, you know. But then you're like, nah, you don't. You know, you don't want to get involved with all that shit. What's that about?
Like basically, I knew I was gonna blow up off of the EP, right?
Yeah.
I knew, but like the EP is at the time, like when I was writing this, I was going through some shit with other niggas
Yeah.
where they were like, they were telling me about how, you know, I was switching up and the fame was getting all to my head. I wasn't even, like, I'm still not famous, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I didn't even understand what these niggas were talking about because like, I'm still the same old me, doing the same old shit. I just don't go to school no more.
Yeah.
That's all that changed, you know? And like, when I did that, I was basically putting myself in third person shoes.
Yeah.
Either you want me or you don't. Just don't forget me just don't forget me when I'm famous.
Yeah.
What I've been told, me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
What I've been told, right? And then I tell them, ain't gotta worry, because I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I feel. Okay, now on to Wait. Right now, you mentioned a person named Vanessa. How she? Yeah, how she has some sort of power on you, man. Like, now what's that about?
She's
Vanessa.
she's like don't get it twisted when I say this, because while I'm filming right now, I got a person in my life, so she shouldn't get it twisted either.
Yeah.
Like Vanessa is basically my soulmate, right? But a best friend soulmate.
Yeah, I feel.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no one that understands each other more than her and I do,
Yeah.
right? And like when I was going through the shit that I was going through on Waits, because I recorded in August, like she was there for me and she was cheering me up and telling me that, yo bro, you got this in the bag, you've got so much talent, you just need to unlock it. So when I told Vanessa she gotta believe in the kid.
Alright, so now, in terms of the standard of your music, bro, you know, like where do you think your music gonna take you? Do you just wanna be here local, or do you wanna just take on the fucking world, bro?
Dog, I want to take on the world one step at a time, one project at a time. Because I know, you know, you can't convince 7 other billion people that your shit is the shit if, you know, you're putting out like 3 projects. Bah, you expect the whole world to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's 42 million people in this country.
Yeah.
And then you want 7 billion people to hear 3 projects.
Yeah,
It's not possible. I'm going to take on it like one project at a time and make sure my name becomes a global brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, if it happens that you do get to that position, like, do you see yourself as the main character, or won't you mind sharing it with other artists that are out there?
Man, like that's what I've been asked a lot, and I see myself as like both. I see myself as both. I want to be. There's no one that wants to be led.
Yeah, definitely.
We want to lead, right? And if I gotta be the lead character in the story of the new wave, then let that be, because I'm honestly like I'm trying to open new doors for people like me in my position who weren't able to do a whole lot of things because firstly financial issues or secondly parental issues, like all that bullshit that's holding you back in your life. I want to be, you know, I want to be the example that anything can happen.
Yeah. Anything. Alright, now in terms of collaborations, man, who would you like to collaborate with locally firstly and secondly internationally?
Who I want to or who I is? Like both. Okay. Like I can't really say, you know, who I want to collaborate with because I'm content with, you know, good vibes and, you know, good music. And like if the situation came where, you know, you and I would collaborate, then that would be, you know, it would be a crazy thing. So right now, like I'm just focusing on what I have right now. So basically, I'm working with Ricky right now. Yeah, I'm working with Ricky. I'm working with Frank Casino. I'm working with Aries right now. I'm working with Suchi Coke Dope. I'm working with I got a few projects in the bag with Ginger Trill.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ginger Trill, yeah. How'd that come about, man? How did that even happen? That was so unexpected when I heard it.
It was a personal relationship between Ginger and 808X because Ginger had been working on his album, his like upcoming album.
Yeah.
He's been working on that shit for like a year and a half. Right? Yeah, he's been working on that shit for a year and a half. And like he's been working with 808X, putting together, you know, something that I think would be, you know, an eye-opening project. So basically, he just pulled up out of nowhere. I was told on the day that I was coming through, the second week that I started working with 808X, the Ginger Trill is coming to the studio. What the fuck? Ginger Trill? Like, for real? Like, and then when it happened, he just asked me, Youngin, do a hook for me. I heard that 8578 joining us. It's the shit. Do a hook for me. I'm like, for real? He pulls out a beat from 8, plays it. It was called Eastside at the time.
Yeah.
I started mumbling that shit. I started vibing. I recorded the hook in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, like, the rest was history, yeah.
Damn, yo. Okay, now that concludes what we have, man. You know, thank you very much for the blessings, man. Out here doing you.
Yeah.
You know, we wish you the best and everything. You know, this was the Eastern Society, man, live with the Big Hash.
Yeah.
Doing the most. Best believe to see.
I'm ugly as shit, though. Follow me on Instagram at the Big Hash. Twitter at Peace Be On Me. Let's get it.
Bless.
Let's get it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now get the shit on. And that concludes the whole interview. You know, we're out here at the Internet Wave Mansion. Did the most. We were live. We still live. And we're still alive. Doing the most. Taking your lives.
Cause I don't remember when